Hello students, welcome to eBioBase crash course, right? So on CSR Net Life Science, June 2020. Myself, Sridhar V. Pattar, the director of eBioBase, and I have 5 years of experience for teaching CSR Net aspirants. So I have worked in various institutions like Biotechnica in Pune branch as well as in Bangalore branch. And then I have started my own institute, eBioBase, in Dharwad. So eBioBase have produced a lot of students results in CSRNet, GATE, in national level examinations, and many state level examinations have been cleared, like set examinations. So this crash course, which will be useful for CSRNet, upcoming CSRNet June 2020. So I welcome you all who have registered for this class. So we got awesome number of registrants. So around 450 plus registrants have been enrolled for this course, right? So this course will begin from 15 May, that's today, and till 15 June it will be there. So these are the website IDs. So ebiobase.in, which is our main website, whereas CSR test series ebiobase.in. So this is our test series as well as crash course registration website. So this is our contact number, right? So if you have any doubts regarding the crash course classes, you can easily contact me, right? So before going to start our crash course, we are going to discuss certain important concepts which are important for CSRNet, right? So those are the hot topics which they may ask in CSRNet examinations, right? So about myself, I have cleared my CSRNet with all over India rank 43, and I have also cleared KSET examination, Karnataka state level examination also, and I have pursued my MSc in biochemistry, and now I am the director of eBiobase, right? So we'll begin. So most of the students will think like we have 30 days class, which is crash course, which is absolutely free, right? So whether it will be useful or no, whether it will be useful for us in examination or no, or just for advertisement, those people are going to do like that. They have many questions, right? So of course, we have listed some certain questions of yours. So what you learn in this course, right? So you are going to learn, we are going to teach some important concepts from basics. Remember this, from basics, which are considered very hot topics for your CSRNet exam, right? Next, speaking about class duration, the duration of the class will be 30 days, right? And each day there will be 90 minutes of class. That means 1.5 hours of class each day. So which is a healthy time for a quick revision or a quick analysis of certain important topics which were selected, and that will be useful for your examination. Now, and the most important thing is it useful in attending the course? Yes, of course it is useful in attending the course, right? It will be really very helpful in analyzing the questions from part C, right? In part C of CSR, which carry 4 marks, right? The part C question, the analytical questions which carries 4 marks, it will be very useful there. And this is going to give you how to analyze part C questions. So that is very important, because part C questions carries 4 marks, and if you make negative in that, -1 will be the negative. The highest marks will have highest negative also, right? So that's how we are going to concentrate. We are going to concentrate the important topics on your part C, right? So they used to ask part C questions. We have 75 questions. Most of you might be knowing about that. We have part C 75 questions, out of which we need to write only 25 questions, right? So we need to write 25 questions. There will be 75 questions in it. So each question carry 4 marks, right? So that means part C carries total 100 marks, right? Each question carry 4 marks. Negative leads you -1. Then let's begin, right? So speaking about important concepts which we are going to learn today. I have enlisted hot important topics for CSRNet June 2020. 30 concepts I have made it. So each day one concept. This is our target. So we'll see. It's not possible each day one target to complete. We'll try our best to make it possible, right? So because from scratch we are going to start. It's very important. The basic is very important. So many students have a question like clearing CSRNet is equivalent to clearing some national level, toughest national level examinations like civil services or state level examinations, right? So it's not like that. Every exam, every national level exam has its own identity and has its own toughness as well as trickiness also. But here, what we need to understand is most of the students, they don't know the basics of life science because we used to study about one topic, right? We used to study about one MSc in case of masters, in case of zoology, botany, microbiology, biotechnology, biochemistry. We are good in our own subject, but in CSR we have 13 units. I'm just making it just I'm going to give you a short information. We have 13 units. So out of 13 units, I have taken important concepts which are really very hot topic for your examination. So out of these 13 units, we are going to select a few concepts in each unit, and I have enlisted this particular list now. So it's not like it's very hard to clear CSRNet. Of course it is hard if you don't prepare well. That's why preparation begins from scratch is the greatest ever preparation for CSRNet. Keep this in mind. Now, moving ahead, the very first topic which we are going to cover is fluidity of cell membranes and FRAP. So fluidity of cell membranes, why fluidity is important, what exactly if fluidity of a cell membrane is lost, what will happen. So about those things we are going to discuss here, and what are the constituents which are the factors which are going to alter the fluidity, cell membrane fluidity. About that we are going to discuss. Now speaking about FRAP, it's an technique. So it is mainly involved in analysis of lateral diffusion of proteins and membrane proteins mainly, and membrane phospholipids. So we are going to discuss about that in detail because in December 2019 they have asked question on FRAP. Remember this. So they have been asking more number of questions on FRAP. So it's a very important topic for which we need to cover at first, right? Next, we are going to speak about cell membrane pumps, the active pumps, and their families. So we have different types of cell membrane pumps which are mainly involved in transferring certain molecules, solutes, or ions, whatever it is, in and out of the cell against the concentration gradient. So we'll discuss what is against the concentration gradient and what are channels, what are carriers, right? What are exactly pumps, everything we are going to discuss in this topic, in second topic. Third one, we will be discussing about action potential generation as well as propagation. So action potential generation and propagation is an important concept. You need to remember always, right? Because action potential, it is mainly important in cell biology as well as in case of animal physiology, right? So if you touch a hot object, so you won't feel like you won't feel to touch it more, right? You get irritability. The concept of irritability arises, and the signal will be transmitted to the from the sensory neuron. It will be transmitted to the motor neuron, where the motor muscles which are going to contract, that leads to sudden uptaking of the hand from that hot object, right? So about that action potential, how it is going to generate in nerve cell and how it will be propagated from one nerve cell to another, and how it is going to be so fast, and everything about in detail action potential we are going to discuss. So about this also in December 2019 as well as other exams also they used to ask, right? They have asked already. Next, that's why we have included this also. Now apart from this, we have cell cycle, right? We have cell cycle. It's an important concept, but we couldn't cover it here in this 30 units. I have not included because it's very hard to cover everything in this short-term course. But of course all these are important concepts, remember this. Now speaking about cell organelles, the second chapter of cell biology, we are going to discuss about nucleus. In nucleus, we are going to discuss about the structure of chromatin and chromosomes, and what exactly the nucleus is, and what is its role, and how exactly the molecules can pass through the nucleus into the cytosol, and from cytosol into the nucleus. So we have different concepts, different proteins we have, and the proteins which are going to carry those molecules inside the nucleus or outside the nucleus, we have different concepts, right? So we are going to learn in detail about this. And apart from nucleus, we know that we have many types of organelles. Of course, endoplasmic reticulum important, ribosomes are also important. I'll just suggest you certain important concepts also along with these concepts. We are going to explain only these concepts here in this crash course, but of course we have other organelles also. You need to prefer it, right, to read. Next, we are going with lac operon concept. Of course, the operons are very, very important for your exam. So lac operon, you have tryptophan operon, you have bacteriophage operon, you have, anyhow, I have included bacteriophage operon in this crash course also. It's important now, right? Next, about lac operon, we'll read everything about lac operon and how it is regulated. We are going to learn, and then we are going to understand about the merozygote formation experiments. So it's actually, it is very important for CSR exam, right? Next, we are going to speak about this is all about the complete five topics is all about cell biology, cell bio. It's one unit, the unit number 2 in syllabus. Next, we'll move into the very first unit of our syllabus, which is called as biochemistry. My MSc in biochemistry, right? So I have done my MSc in biochemistry, my favorite. So we'll be going with amino acids, proteins, and their conformations. So it's very important on proteins, amino acids, and their conformations. At least 1 or 2 questions you are going to get in CSR exam for 4 marks. I'm only speaking about 4 marks, not about 2 marks, right? So when you are able to write answer 4 marks question in a particular topic, you can easily answer 2 marks. So about that we'll discuss later. So the pattern of examination, everything we are going to discuss about it later, as this is we have limited time here. So about pattern, I'll be uploading it in our YouTube channel, so you can just refer it there. Next, so we are going to speak about Ramachandran plot. So what Ramachandran plot is going to say, and how exactly the Ramachandran plot is useful for protein researchers, and what we are going to get, what we are going to deduce from Ramachandran plot. So which is very, very important related with proteins. And specific proteolytic enzymes, we are going to discuss about proteolytic enzymes like trypsin, chymotrypsin, right? So what these trypsins, chymotrypsins are going to, how they are going to act on proteins, which particular amino acids it is going to cleave, about that we are going to discuss. Now this is all about biochemistry, although you have many concepts in biochemistry which are very important, but among them these are short questions about these 2 concepts. They used to ask at least 4 to 8 marks, even 3 to 4 questions from part C can also be asked, right? Because in methods in biology, the 13th unit of CSIRNet, it is collaborated with this biochemistry unit, and they used to ask the questions, right? So cool. We'll do it one by one, right? I'm just briefing the things. Then I will move into normal, like we'll move into fluidity of the cell membrane, how it is going to be maintained, everything. Next, the next concept which we are going to learn is DNA damage and repair, right? Which comes from molecular biology, the 3rd unit. And we'll speak about capping, polyadenylation of eukaryotic RNA, right? So the capping and polyadenylation, very, very important it is. About this we are going to speak, the mRNA capping, how it is going to occur, and polyadenylation, how it is going to occur. What if there is no capping and polyadenylation? Everything we are going to discuss in detail. Next, from 4th unit, we are going to discuss about GPCR signaling pathway. So GPCR signaling pathway, G protein coupled receptor, right? So this is very, very important. And apart from this, RTK is important, JAK-STAT is also important. So anyhow, we are going to discuss in this course about GPCR in detail, right? Next, we are going to discuss about cell to cell and cell to matrix interactions, very important for your exam. Next, specification in developmental biology, we will be discussing about types of specifications with examples, and then we'll go into tetrapod limb formation. So tetrapod limb formation in case of vertebrates, what are the factors involved in limb development? About that we are going to learn. Now apart from this, in developmental biology, fertilization is important. Fertilization chapter in mouse as well as in sea urchin, it's important. C elegans, volval induction is also important, along with this specification and tetrapod limb formation. And Drosophila genetics, axis and pattern formation in case of frog, and in case of chick, it's also important, right? Now We'll move into plant developmental biology. So flower development, ABC model. So we'll discuss about that. What is ABC model? So based on that, they have asked many questions. That's why I have included this. In plant physiology, we are going to discuss about plant hormone auxin. About auxin, we are going to discuss in detail. Rather than discussing the functions of auxins and other plant hormones, it's better to discuss in detail about one particular hormone. That's why I have included auxin. We are going to discuss synthesis, we are going to discuss function, transport, signaling of auxin. So it's important, equally important with other hormones also. And apart from this, you have many more concepts to learn in plant physiology, right? Next, so we are going to discuss about photomorphogenesis. Photomorphogenesis, that means the change in morphogenesis, the change in plant features with respect to light. About photomorphogenesis, it's also an important concept we are going to learn from plant physiology itself. Next, from genetics unit, we are going to learn about bacterial genetics. Anyhow, the basics, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, Mendelian genetics, it's also important. Epistasis, everything is important, but see, we are going to discuss about bacterial genetics in this course. And also we are going to discuss about chromosomal abnormalities. So different types of chromosomal abnormalities like deletions, inversions, translocations, right? So all these kind of abnormalities, aberrations, we are going to discuss. In 2019 December, they have asked a question on chromosomal abnormalities also. Next, in ecology, speaking about ecology, we are going to discuss about survivorship curves, which is important, species interaction, which we are going to discuss from ecology part. Next, from biotechnology, we are going to discuss applied biology, Thai plasmid, tumor inducing plasmid, and Vir genes and their roles in tumor induction, and their how they are going to induce tumors in plants. About that also we are going to discuss. Next, types of DNA markers, very very important. They have asked many times, almost in all exams they used to ask this DNA markers. So RFLP, AFLP, SSLP, you might have heard about this. We are going to we are going to discuss this in detail about DNA markers. Next, so Cre-Lox recombinase system, it also plays an important role during exam, right? So Cre-Lox recombinase, it's a simple concept, but they used to ask in CSRNet, right? So we are going to discuss about this. Apoptosis, some people used to pronounce it as apoptosis, both are fine. So about apoptosis we are going to discuss. So the different types of apoptosis, how exactly which procedure is going to be followed, what are caspase dependent, caspase independent, everything we are going to discuss in detail. 25th concept is FACS. So FACS is also called as cell analysis, right? Cell cycle analysis is carried out using FACS only. Flow cytometry we call it as. So flow cytometry, based on the results, they used to give results and we have to interpret the results. They used to give question and statements. We used to choose the right statement among them. So those type of questions they used to ask many times. In December 2019 also they have asked it. So we are going to discuss about that. In methods, FACS we are going to discuss. And we are going to discuss about protein purification. So how exactly the protein purification has been done. So about that we are going to discuss. About ECG, very important, right? In animal physiology it comes ECG. And vision in light and dark, signaling pathway again. We say it as GTG, transducin protein. So we are going to discuss about that. Next, important concept, bacterial chemotoxis. That means the movement of bacteria towards the attractant or the tumbling of the bacteria when it receives any repellent. So about that we are going to discuss. Next, the last concept which I have included is bacteriophage operon, which is a bit complex but very easy to understand, right? It will be if it is added, then it'll be having more confidence in operon concept, because all the operons we will be covered. So guys, these are the units, sorry, these are the concepts which we are going to learn in this crash course, right? So if you have any doubts, then you can directly message me, right? Or you can just mail me, so that we'll clarify your doubts.